Okay, so wigs off today for in support of National Cancer Survivors Day. Um, and if you notice that even though I haven't had the treatment that would cause hair to fall out in 3 years, I still don't have hair, and that is because I took a drug called Taxotere. And Taxotere, even though the manufacturer of the drug knew that permanent hair loss was a result of the drug, they didn't bother to tell the doctors that. And so doctors were prescribing Taxotere and not informing their patients that it could cause permanent hair loss. So there is a lawsuit going on right now. I have chosen not to participate in the lawsuit. I'm just Taxotere hair, don't care. I chose not to participate in the lawsuit because I had a heart-to-heart conversation with my oncologist, Dr. Alguire, here in Muskegon at Johnson Family Cancer Center, and she told me that despite the fact that it could cause permanent hair loss, Taxotere is still the standard of care for the type of cancer that I have, and the standard of care for most breast cancer. So, you know, it's just a side effect that I'm going to live with. So I took my wig off today in honor of all those ladies out there who are bald right now. You know, I like the wig. I like wearing different wigs, change my hairstyle. So it's kind of fun. But this is what I look like all the time. So wigs off to National Cancer Survivors Day. So the reason why I decided to go live today was because of a blog post that I read by Nancy Stordahl. She has a blog called Nancy's Point, and she has a Facebook page called Nancy's Point. She's also the author of a book called Cancer is Not a Gift, and she has like 3 books. And I don't always agree with what Nancy says, but, and I don't agree with the blog post that I read today. Sometimes I feel like she's a little negative, but I follow her anyway because she provides a perspective, and it's always good to get both sides of a story. So I do follow her, and I do read some of her articles, even though I don't always agree with them. So Nancy's point today was that she doesn't like National Cancer Survivors Day because she thinks that it leaves out the people who have metastatic cancer. So what metastatic cancer is stage 4. It means that the cancer has moved outside of the part of the body that it would normally live. So in my case, the breast cancer moved into my lungs. So a lot of times people will get lung cancer and it moves into their bones, or lung cancer will move into their brain. And when it does that, then it is called metastatic. So metastatic cancers normally are considered terminal. So she doesn't like National Survivors Day because she thinks that it leaves metastatic patients out of the picture. But my perspective is, and I really don't like the word survivor, but my perspective is I'm here, I'm alive. You know, I'm living with stage 4 cancer, but I am here. I am surviving. And I'm going to survive for as long as I can, you know? So I want to give you some of the harsh realities of what it's like to live with metastatic cancer, because it's not, you know, it's a different story. A lot of people, they get breast cancer, they have their boobs removed, and they live the rest of their life. You know, they take estrogen suppressors for 5 years, and then they live the rest of their life, and they never get cancer again. That's not the reality for me, but it is the reality for a lot of people. So what Nancy's point was in her article was that National Cancer Survivors Day is leaving people like me out of that celebration, but I don't agree. So, so here I want to talk to you about what my life is like. So for the rest of my life, or until there is a cure, I will be in treatment. Even though I am in remission right now, I am still in treatment. So what does treatment look like? Every day I take a pill. It's called anastrozole, and what the anastrozole does is it suppresses my ovaries so they don't produce estrogen. And it's just a daily pill, and it's kind of like estrogen suppressor light. And then every 4 weeks, I get a shot called Zoladex. And what Zoladex does is it just turns off your ovaries and puts you into menopause. So that's estrogen suppressor plus, or extreme, or max, or whatever. So I'm on 2 estrogen suppressors. And what the Zoladex, after I started taking the Zoladex, I became a person that I don't like. It made me cranky. irritable. I just did not like the way I was on the Zoladex. I take a 3-hour nap 2 days after Zoladex. I mean, there's just so many things that Zoladex does that I don't like. And a lot of people opt to stop taking Zoladex and have their ovaries just removed. That is an option I'm looking at because I don't like Zoladex. So one of the things that Zoladex did to me was it made me depressed. And the depression exhibited itself in the crankiness and the sleepiness. So I went and I talked to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist prescribed a drug called Lexapro. It's an antidepressant. So this is not only is this a cancer video, but it's also a mental health awareness video. Depression and cancer go hand in hand, and who wouldn't get depressed if they were going through cancer treatment? So that's just a harsh reality, and it's okay. If you have been going through cancer treatment and you're suffering from depression, get some help and don't be embarrassed. It's okay. The Lexapro has really helped. Okay, so that's going on. Oh, and then so that's a daily thing every 4 weeks, and then every 3 weeks I go in for an infusion of Herceptin. And Herceptin is a targeted protein therapy. It targets the HER2 protein, which is the protein that the type of cancer I have likes to eat. So by targeting the protein, they're keeping that protein out of my system so that the cancer has nothing to eat. Herceptin was invented 2 decades ago maybe, and before it was invented, HER2 positive breast cancer was of death sentence. So it is, without the funding from the Revlon company, that a Herceptin drug would not exist today. So thank you to Revlon, and thank you to a lot of people who made it possible for the thousands and thousands and thousands of women in America today and around the world today who have HER2 positive breast cancer, that now we have a drug that extends our life. And I know a couple of women who have been around for 10 extra years because of Herceptin. So I'm going for 20 or more. So that's my daily drug routine. So Herceptin causes some side effects, and one of them is pain. So every day I'm in pain. My whole body hurts. I'm always in pain, and I'm also allergic to Herceptin, so I have to take some allergy drugs for that. And so the day of treatment, I get a Benadryl shot or a Benadryl infusion, and then afterwards I can take some Claritin for a couple days, and it'll counteract it. If I don't do that, I get hives all over my whole body. So good times. Okay, so 2 more things I want to chat about, and then I'm done. I got this card from my friend Diane Walker. It says, "Your courage inspires me," and it just thank you, Diane, for that. And I don't think living with cancer makes me courageous. I think that I'm courageous. I don't know, but thank you. So I don't know why I brought up the card. Maybe it's just because every once in a while it feels good to get something in the mail that says, "Hey, you're doing a good job." Okay, and then the last little tidbit is I am putting together a coaching program for people who have gone through treatment or going through treatment for cancer and are business owners, and they want to stay on track or bounce back with their business after cancer. So I would really appreciate it if you connect me with any business owners that you know who are going through treatment, who are just finished treatment, and are looking to get back on track. I've been a business coach for over 3 years. It's the business. I started coaching after I was diagnosed with cancer because it was something that I could do from my house. And I have over 20 years experience as a business owner and over 30 years experience in sales. And and my heart wants to help people. That's just who I am. And so I help people anyway, but through the coaching program, I can help in a more significant and impactful way. So I am looking to be connected with people who are business owners, micropreneurs, less than 10 employees who are trying to bounce back after their cancer treatment. And I would love to be connected. I have a couple of free things that I can offer, and then I have this coaching program that I'm putting together. So that's that. I will put a link to Nancy's article in the comments if you want to read it. And I really appreciate that you tuned in today and listened. And if you're a survivor, happy National Cancer Survivors Day, y'all. Take care.